These no-see-ums are tearing me up. We're gonna keep the cart moving on this update. Welcome back to Golf Course Maintenance, everyone. We are back on the Eagle course for summer 2026. We're now approximately 2 weeks into this 5-week closure here on the Eagle course. And despite a very wet start to the summer, the team has done a tremendous amount of work to get a lot done this past 2 weeks. We're gonna tell you all about it, but first we just wanna jump in and give you a briefing of why we're doing some of these cultural practices. During the summer months, our goal is to create air movement through the soil, decompact these areas of a heavy cart traffic season and our equipment as well. Just as importantly, we are working on building up our carbohydrate reserves before we get into winter. Think of these reserves as the plant's energy savings account. The stronger those reserves heading into winter, the better prepared the turf will be to handle environmental stresses. Once we get into those shorter, cooler, and cloudier days, the clock starts ticking on us. The grass isn't producing as much energy, so it's important that we use summer months to build strong roots and healthier carbohydrate reserves while we have the opportunity. This is especially important this winter, as many meteorologists are predicting a strong El Nino year.
For those of you who don't habla español, El Nino is Spanish for the Nino.
Thank you, Chris, for that clarification. If those forecasts are true and we're expecting a strong El Nino year, it's more important than ever to get more air movement in the soil, let those greens, tees, fairways drain a whole lot better with the cultural practices we are doing this summer. Because we never know what Mother Nature is going to bring our way, so it's always best to be prepared. So on the Eagle greens here, we started out with the verticut, all went well there. We then had the contractors come in with the deep core aeration. This again helps that water movement, does a great job with gas exchange and promotes oxygen down the roots, creates those channels. We also dilute some of that organic material. Now being a 5-week closure, we've got a lot more time for healing. And our plan was to do a second aerification, a solid tine aerification. After the deep tine was completed, we went to go do that solid tine aerification, and the greens were just too weak at that point. They just weren't strong enough. We just don't have the root structure from being a stressful winter that we had. It just wasn't worth the risk of tearing the greens up that much and having to do that much patchwork. So we put a pause on the second aerification, and we'll pick up on that on week 3 or 4. Everything got completed on the fairways. We started out with the verticut. We were able to get our 1298 airifiers out and airified all the fairways, which was great. We got done with the fairway airification way faster than I anticipated. And I think primarily because we had that second airifier was part of the new equipment package that we got in. So we're gonna be able to airify these fairways a whole lot quicker and stay ahead of these rain events. We're not done with the fairways yet. We still have a fairway top dress to be performed. That's gonna happen towards the end of the 5-week closure. But by the time we open, there shouldn't be much remnants of sand left over. Big Daddy made another appearance here, breaking up some of that rock, creating some of those channels again. It was kind of tricky dodging some of the rainfall that we've had during this closure. It has rained 8 out of the 12 days since we are recording this, with a total of 3.88 inches of rainfall. One thing I can say is we are definitely benefiting from the drainage work we performed last summer. There is no way we could have gotten this much accomplished so far on this closure with all the rainfall that we had, and that was because of all that investment we made to the drainage work on this Eagle course. We all know this Eagle course is much wetter than the Talon, and that's also one of the reasons why we moved the closure to shut down the Eagle first, expecting we would have drier conditions in May, but this May was a little bit wetter than what we typically get. Can't forget about the tees either. We did an aggressive verticut on that and airification. It was quick. Once again, with having that second 1298 airifier, it was definitely beneficial and got us ahead of a lot of these storms. As we continue aerating and top dressing these tees, we're gonna continue leveling off that playing surface, making it a much better playing experience. I wanna jump over to the Talon for a second before we leave. In the coming days, you will notice some browning around the edges of the greens. Over the years, we've had some contamination from the TIF Grand encroaching on the TwinEagles greens of the Talon course. So we want to eradicate that and do it ahead of our closure, June 23rd of the Talon. So we're going to kill these areas out. They are going to brown out. It's not going to look pretty, not going to lie, but it's what we got to do before the problem gets worse. And we definitely have to do it before we start aerating the Talon. That's why we are addressing it now and not during the closure. Because last thing we want to do is aerify those areas and continue to spread that TIF Grand on to the TwinEagles greens. That's what we got for you on this update. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all take care now. Bye.